You need to triage the marketplace. Miss Trade.
Welcome back, Bobby. Welcome back.
At some point, Miss Trade, they got to find you in the pile of fucking canceled, don't they? Man, I got baseball on my mind.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I got baseball on my mind. Just spent a
Hey, congratulations! Congratulations, by the way, to Kramer and the Eagles.
Yeah, and by the way, my first instinct is that the Eagles just crush them in the Super Bowl. My first instinct.
No, I disagree. Only because I thought the KC defense actually looks quite stout.
Defense wins championships, man.
I'm just saying.
Hey, please, if you're watching, please retweet.
Both their defenses look stout, but they look stout. That's all I'm saying.
Please retweet right now.
If you're watching,
Matt, it's Super Bowl week coming up next week. It's 2 weeks off, right? It's always 2 weeks off.
Yeah, 2 weeks from last Sunday. Yes.
So everybody gets to get rested up. It sure is nicer in Hawaii than it is here, Matt. I just want to point that out, right?
Well, we had a little January spring while you were gone, but when you came back Saturday, it decided to flip back just to F you, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, well, this is the Deschutes River, Matt, and
beautiful sunny day,
it's raging right underneath the bridge there, and it's the first time I've ever seen it. It's frozen from shore to shore. At this particular shore to shore, frozen.
It's no Mississippi shore to shore, but
frozen. And these the ducks that on one of your walks.
That was yesterday, also on the ducks on the frozen Deschutes. Yeah.
And there's Vinny not opposed to the cold. We say all this, Matt, because we shared a lot about the polar vortex collapsing, about cold going to penetrate deep into Texas, and that it seemed fundamentally that natural gas should just go haywire. Apparently that trade was incredibly crowded because it's done nothing but break natty gas. So bring it up. Let's talk natty right away.
Well, they didn't know but they got to the level that we talked about, which was, what was it, Bob? Let's see if you can remember.
265, I believe.
There you go, 265. And we said it was going to 265 when it broke 440 or whatever it was. That was the potential. And even now, I mean, you can go a lot lower if you wanted, but we're right on the point of control. Bang, 262, 263. There's a little bit of a argument going on here, but this thing could trade down to $1.50, Bob. The way it's trapped every.
And by the way, had there been Russian gas supplies to Europe, this thing's at that $1.50 for sure. Right. Like if there isn't this giant vacuum for natural gas in Europe, who knows where this thing goes?
Yeah, now it's chopping around down here the last couple of days. Once it got down to 2, took those people out, soft hands, and now they're down there again, 261. But trying to get, I think the next move here is can you get a 2-day move above, like the last high? So that right now that would be somewhere around 277. It changes every day, but you need 2 days to start a trend, and we haven't started one yet. So,
bingo. Matt, let's talk baseball. I need to be able to share in order to talk baseball.
Right. I
got a gorgeous Manja TV baseball shirt. The Manja TV hat available. The baseball hat available. Let's go here. First, Matt, you said that your favorite team in Stratomatic baseball as a young man,
yes,
was this.
Absolutely was this team. This team statistically crushed everybody. I mean, because there was back in this day, you didn't have lineups like this. This lineup was so good, 1 through 9, and remember, and they had Don Gullett, who was a heck of a pitcher and a great hitter. Like he was you wanted him at number 9 because the guy batted like 230 as a pitcher. This was back when pitchers still played. And Stratomatic baseball, dude. That's where all my market, edges were cut right there.
And the names, let's come on. Concepcion, Geronimo.
Dave Concepcion, Cesar Geronimo, Johnny Bench, Hall of Famer, George Foster, Rookie of the Year, I think in 74. Dreesen, you had Tony Perez at first, Joe Morgan, Ken Griffey, Senior in center field, and of course, the GOAT, Pete Rose. And betting on his team every game like he should.
Right. Not enough payroll to make it interesting.
Back then, you know,
right on. All right, Matt. I want to shuffle down here to a couple other baseball, because pitchers and catchers showing up in a couple of weeks now, Matt.
But not drinkers and philanderers like those two.
I saw this, Matt, and I never knew that there was a baseball jersey, right, with that gorgeous elephant on it.
Yeah. So
they were the A's. Were they the Kansas City A's before they went to
I think
Oakland?
they were the Kansas City Athletics at that point.
And it's just I would pay for that jersey right there, or a replica of it. And I can't find one.
Maybe you should start selling it.
I can't find one.
Fanatics.
What I can't find is the Shrimp Mojo hat available at Redbubble, the Rub Me Shrimp Mojo hat. But I can't find the that one. It's just it's gorgeous. Let's just say what it is. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then, man, I wanted to get down to
on rainy days though. Do you think Ty Cobb liked that wet jersey when he was stealing bases? Because that thing must have got heavy.
Like all wool jersey,
heavy wool. Yeah.
All right, Matt, let's go. Pick 3 baseball movies. I got my 3.
Moneyball, Durham, Field of Dreams.
All right, I got Moneyball, Durham, and 8 Men Out.
Yeah, it was between 8 Men Out and those other two, but I saw them down there and I went Bull Durham, because you got to have a comedy.
Bull Durham is fantastic, by the way.
You got to have a comedy, right? And especially since I just binged while you were gone watching Yellowstone. Got to go with Costner. Definitely Costner. 2 Costners.
Definitely Costner. Oh, all right, Matt. Let me.
Definitely Costner.
13th February is the World Baseball Classic. Awesome. We got some international baseball. I believe that's what that is. Correct?
Well, it's probably, Costa Rica, Dominican, Puerto Rico against the best of the U.S., and it'll be a blowout by the Central America.
All right, man, we got to talk price discovery. Where did I say?
Is there something going on? Is anything going on?
Yeah, first of all, Matt.
Well, first we've started the Fed meeting. We know we got that going on. So that's
man. I was on a plane, or I thought whoever came up with this branding. Like, was this on the flights to Epstein Island? These chips. I mean, I don't know.
Hey, Bill Gates regrets having dinner with him. That's what he said in the
36 times.
He regrets having dinner with him.
I wanted to reach out to Bill and see if this in true was the fair.
However, he doesn't regret selling his Moderna stock.
We're gonna get there. Hold on a second. Hold on. Where's the hold on a second. I gotta find my chips tweet. Because speaking of chips, first of all, terrible branding. That's all I gotta say about that. Hold on. All right, I'm losing it here. I've been off for a week. Leave me alone. All right. Matt, what is you got to bring up a chip stock, and I'm going to find the tweet to talk about it.
Oh, I thought we were talking about these kind of chips.
By the way, son of a bitch. Anyway, there was a tweet talking about how ridiculously brutal the chip business is right now. There it is. RJR Capital sharing. Let me share. Sharing this, RJR Capital sharing not bullish at all. Semiconductor, it's been squeezed all month. Chip companies' sales are plunging by around 30 to 50%. This is not a normal situation, from Lisa Abramowitz. And we just saw today that Kevin McCarthy is on his way to Taiwan. Other than posturing, I'm not sure what that means for chip companies. But speaking of pedos, pull up a chip chart. Let's talk some chips.
Well, it sounds like RJR missed the move because it's been on and still is on a bullish move, is what it looks like to me. So forget about the headlines and talk about the news, or the news, which is price. And we are just off 241, which was the recent high on the chips here, and 196 up to recently 196 up to 241, and formerly 167 here in October, that low. Bob, this is a bullish chart, but you got a little, again, reverse head and shoulders. If we break out above 250, you got that going for the bull case. But this does look like a good area being, but in this market, Bob, fundamental happens again. It's all about the Fed, and we're in the throes and the crosshairs of the Fed meeting, which has begun today, and rates, they're hoping for another or for the first cut tomorrow, but that's not coming. I still think they're going to have to cut 50, and one of the main reasons for that today is General Motors. Let's stop.
Yeah, you're going to bring that in, but here, before you do, let me share this.
Okay.
Because it's imperative. It's information that we need. We've talked about this. And I actually shared the freezing cold pictures to bring it in, not just because of the natural gas trade, but because of the climate narratives. And you talked about this before, or we've talked about it, how Toyota has said we're not going fully electric, right? We're not doing it. And then I think that this was incredibly good information on this backstory, because plug-in hybrids use less minerals and can reduce more emissions than fully electric vehicles. Let me read that again. Plug-in hybrids use less minerals and can reduce more emissions than fully electric vehicles. Toyota can produce 8 40-mile plug-in hybrids for every one 320-mile EV and save up to 8 times the emissions. You're never going to see that from a greeny headline, but it's staggering. It's staggering if that is true. I don't know that is true, but that's what Brian Gritch is sharing. I'm assuming that it's true, and I'm assuming Toyota is a better steward of the environment by staying plug-in and hybrid and using fossil fuels for part of that mileage discovery that we all want.
Well, plus when you need, when you're going over the Tejon Pass and you're running out of electricity, you're not going to be able to even start to get up that hill. You can use the gas, for God's sake.
I don't know. I thought it was a great backstop for us to talk cars again.
Yeah, but let's talk, since we're in an earnings season and we've been talking about Toyota in the past, but let's talk about GM. GM blew out their earnings today, and has been going up and is up another 8% today. So this is a monster move, but no new prices. I keep saying this, now we're having great earnings. You and I kind of expected some softer earnings, but I think they were reduced far enough that they played the game well enough. One more quarter, once again. And maybe now they're going to, now if you start thinking about it, now they're thinking, oh, we're out of the, like you said, you saw some headlines from 2007. We still had 8 and 9 to go. We're in that same thing. This dead cat bounce is for real. When I start looking at it, like the job situation, there's so many jobs available, and I wonder, where's the correlation? Where's the study about all mortality rates being through the roof? And we've talked about the reasons why, and we know why that's happening. But what about the all mortality and the jobs that are available and open? Maybe there's just not the people. People are dying. They're not able to fill these jobs because there aren't anybody left.
Well, for sure, the demographic is terrible going forward.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe this is, maybe this is a study we should be looking into, and I have not seen that. But this all cost mortality is definitely piling up across the world, not just Europe, not just the US.
Well, across the jabbed world.
Across the jab world. So anyways, 42 was the high here in September. We're grinding back up to where we are, but now what is left to take this thing up? If you're a pig and not taking profits, this is probably, you need to learn, but this is probably going to be about as good as you get, I think, for this stock, unless some more news comes out and you can get this above 45. It's looking like it's ragged and tired, but again, the whole market We're up 14% from the low to the high in January on the NASDAQ. So again, all is good in the world. Everything was, and I think it comes down to, quite simply, Bob, the more I thought about it, like everybody was so bearish. You and I were bearish January of 22.
Yes,
nobody was bearish. Everybody was bearish December 25th of 22. And that's why we're rallying. So we're working off that retail. Everybody was selling short at the end of December of 22, the wrong time. After it had already, most stocks had gone down, most junk stocks especially had gone down to 80%. And so now you're seeing rallies and you're seeing 100% gainers. Tesla, 100 to 180, that's 80% in less than 3 weeks. So, everything's good again. And we know how that usually ends when everybody's on the wrong side of the trade. So I think everybody's pretty much all aboard. And maybe we have to today's a big earnings day and we've had a lot of them. But some of this, here's what's interesting on that subject. Caterpillar, which is a name we've been bearish on and has continued to go higher. But today, finally, and the earnings finally came out since the last bottom, which was in October. And again, that thing has run all the way from 169, Bob, got up to $100. So yeah, 160 up to 266, still overbought. It's got to come back at least into this balance. If and again, I've been short since up in here, so I'm finally getting in the money. It went against me early into earnings, but now this is down 3.5%. So, and that's a pretty serious gap. And I would say that probably has a lot of room to go. Deere already did the same thing last week. So this is kind of what I expected. As a matter of fact, you got a gift because Caterpillar, ran all the way up to 266 and then fell back down to 245 today, getting a little bounce, but it's just a bounce. John Deere, same thing. I think this was this week's fall off, and it came back into it also. So I think some of these industrial names that are the frothiest are the ones you want to be short. So I guess the lesson is when everybody's long, bait them. When everybody's short, bait them.
Where's Rodney? Well, hold on a second. I got a Rodney for you. I gotta find it. I have this on the wall in my trade room. All right. Give me some no respect. Got to have everybody's buying. So
right. Well, but it's true. And then right now, what you're also seeing, you've probably seen. I don't know if you're just getting back into the swing of things, but Wall Street or one of the papers said that hedge funds are the most
short
bearish they've been treasuries in history, right? Which I've been saying. So now I'm like, I'm not, and I'm kind of neutral right now. Into this Fed meeting. I'm waiting for the Fed. I'm not making any big bets on this Fed. I'd rather see how the market reacts. That's just me right now. I think it's too risky to try to guess and outguess what everybody else is guessing.
Well, exactly. When a trade gets that crowded,
so crowded,
it's very dangerous.
Along with that, they're bullish the dollar, right? Which is like, that one makes sense. The bonds are kind of in the middle, so I'm not that excited one way or the other about them, quite honestly. The dollar, I think it's been trying to put in a bottom, but I don't know. It hasn't made a move over, like, say, 103. 103 for me will kind of confirm that. We've gotten up to like 102, 40, 50, I think, is where we've been recently. So yeah, it's an interesting moment, I think, in the history. And then you look at everything that's happening in Europe. I mean, I don't think the war is going to happen big time this year, but 24, 25, it's
what's interesting, Matt, is I listened to a couple of podcasts on Rumble and on Odyssey, on all the places where they don't want any of this information out. I heard that the Germans, and we're sending them tanks, but they're not outfitted with our top secret latest armament.
Right.
And the thought process was like, you're just sending people to die. Like you're
well, and then the other thing is, it's like, if you send me a tank, I don't even know how to start the thing unless it's got a remote key. So like, what am I gonna,
and if it doesn't have the latest armament to defend itself against the latest munitions, whose favor are you doing this to, other than unloading
Well,
It's,
what Biden said a year ago, if we sent planes and tanks, it was World War III. Now he's sending tanks and planes. So
he
I
doesn't
don't know.
remember what he said a year ago.
I'm just telling you, that's what he said.
I know. All right, man, let me share this because back to price discovery, we could talk all we want ad nauseum. I'm so sick of all of it. But these are the facts from Blue Duck Capital Partners. The MRNA CEO sold 80 million worth of stock in January so far. Bill Gates now saying, yeah, I sold all of mine because it really didn't work anyway. Thanks, thanks, Bill, for that. And then you see, the story out of the UK where they're buying, they're penciling 250 million jabs. That's 5 apiece. Shot and chaser for all you UKers. Welcome to the machine, I guess. But let's look at Moderna because the insider is selling. The biggest insider.
Well, today you had
selling
again. Today you had Pfizer earnings. So today was all about Pfizer, and they weren't great. Stocks sold off pre-market. Now it's all the way back to where it was, 43.50. Now, again, this has been going down. So if you were waiting for earnings, you missed the trade. We called it back here when it was in the 50s. Sell Pfizer. This thing again. I mean, just thinking about what we're saying. Pfizer ran at the end of the year. That's the time to sell it. The sell went from 55 to 41. Trade's over, and we didn't take out a low there. So we're just back to the sine wave situation when it comes to Pfizer. Moderna was ahead of it, of course, because they're in the press more. Well, I don't know, but the NFL is brought to you by Pfizer. If you watched the games this weekend, by the way. I mean, if that didn't make you gag, the gag reflex strong, I don't know what did. But Moderna, yeah, trading 175. It's actually down $6 today. Again, there's no good news coming out for this shit. It's just piling up stockpiles. What are you going to do with it? You're going to pump it into our agriculture. You're going to feed the horses with it and the cows. Probably. It's probably what they're doing already.
All right, Matt. Thank you, Mark. Mark sharing with us the T-72 went into mass production in 1972. He says, imagine the change from 72 to 20 to 2002, let alone 2022. And again, there.
Well, and I saw a video that one of the independent journalists over there in Ukraine, that Marty posted today, showing that the shell that hit the innocent Ukrainian home that killed an old couple was Western. So be careful. The truth is out there, but it's not what the mainstream is telling you. So Ukrainians, Russians aren't using Western ammunitions, obviously. So the Ukrainians bombed themselves. I mean, that's what's happening a lot over there. So be careful.
Here's another thing, just let me share this because when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of thought that. We say it all the time, Matt, just follow the money. Just follow the money. And that usually brings you pretty close to what's going on. This was a share, and you're not going to hear there's just some music back playing here. But what's really going on in Ukraine, and look at all these.
Yeah, the labs that are located there. That's been out for a while, but yeah.
I mean, everybody's there. Every pharma company is in Kiev.
Well, that's because they had to pay no taxes and could do it under the darkness of whatever they're doing. So again, not a big surprise. There's a reason why this stuff is offshore.
It might not be a big surprise to you, but I guarantee you it's a big surprise to many other people.
Yeah.
That, well, you know what, maybe there is the biolab thing and the ability to do research that you're not allowed to do here or anywhere, basically. The more you know, the more you know. All right.
Let's talk a little while you were away. We had the finals of the Australian over the weekend, and the GOAT, Novak. How about that?
It's an enlightening story in our times.
And did you see that he was wearing because that was his 22nd Grand Slam. So he had a 22 on his new jersey or shirt, I think that was also apropos because he was unable to play in 22. So I think that was a double a double this to the Aussies.
And to Bill Gates, who was there in his man boob body.
Yeah, he was just there last week also, being all healthy and having dinner with somebody else that he shouldn't be having dinner with, I'm sure. But he'll apologize for it later after he's sold his stock. So that's all good. I mean, again, following the money, like it makes you sick just to see this stuff, because it's like, and if people did follow the money, maybe if more people knew that this stuff was happening, that the Pelosi's and the Gateses were enriching themselves beyond belief, maybe they, but again, nobody covers this. The press is complicit. NFL, and their 2.8 billion in ad revenues, of which I guess 1.9 is from Pfizer. I guess they don't want to speak up because why kill their own business?
It's not that they don't want to.
It's kind of like watching Yellowstone. Everybody's in cahoots together. Everybody.
Yeah. All right. Welcome home. Welcome to the frigid north. I got to tell you, 78-degree ocean is a lot more palatable in January.
That's warmer than my water heater gets.
Thank you. All right. I don't know what else to say other than everybody's. I mean, it's a 2-day meeting, right? So the
rate announcements tomorrow. So we're on the pause, the 2-day pause, and then we have the non-farms on Friday too, which are going to be. They won't be bad.
Well, listen, employment can the labor market cannot ease up, maybe ever in our lifetime.
Well, and I don't see it being bad, anyways.
Seriously.
But if it were bad, it would be good for the market. But it's not going to be bad. So just be careful on what you wish for.
Yeah, the tight labor market is here for the rest of our lives. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
The demographic is such that
the birth rate scarily is just dropping like a stone right now. I mean, it's pretty interesting to watch. And you have kids of birthing age, and they have no desire to have kids. They're like, oh, I don't want to.
Yeah, I know. One of my great regrets is how the propaganda has affected their psyche, which means Grandpa Bob will never happen. It's brutal. It's brutal. And the messaging just is always just so fucking negative to these kids. Their potential is being zapped if they keep fucking paying attention to the bullshit narratives. It's brutal. Yeah. It is fucking brutal. All right, Lee, you got a jersey. I got a few more iron-on patches, and I will find you one of these jerseys and get it off to you. Give me a month, Lee. Give me first pitch of the actual season. Give me April 5th. That's generally when the season starts. Yeah. Somewhere around there.
Usually that first week in April.
Bingo. You're usually freezing your ass off at Wrigley. I
saw one of the greatest hockey games ever on Saturday night. Michigan was hosting Penn State, and they were down 3-0, 2-0 after like a minute and a half of the game. After they had wiped Penn State the night before at Yost. So they had a 2-game host against Yost against the number 6 Nittany Lions. Michigan's number 7, their entire team's freshmen. Like, they're all 18-year-olds. But there's like 6 number 1 draft picks on this team. And Michigan's down 3-0. The place is kind of stagnant. They get a goal, they get another goal, 3-2, and the crowd is starting to really get electric. Penn State goes 4-2. They come back. They tie at 4-4, and at that point, 4-4, the freshman defender Luke Hughes scores his 4th goal. Right, 4th goal. He's a defenseman. 4-4. They score again. It wasn't Hughes this time. They go up 5-4, and that ends up the final. Yost, man, what a place to watch a game like that, because the crowd was into it. The band was playing. Penn State was just rocked. They didn't know what hit them, and again, I don't care. College sports, way better. That was the best sporting event I had seen all week. The Eagles game was horrible. Once Brock Purdy hurt his pretty little finger, he was out.
And that was the first series.
Yeah, it was brutal. And then the Casey game was all, depending on who both sides say the other side cheated or the refs cheated, so everybody's upset.
The refereeing was atrocious.
It was horrible, but I don't really care. I mean, I think the game ended the way it should.
Let me ask you a question though. these guys brush off the fact that the kid got hurt the first series. Like that, that wasn't the end of the game. Like, give me a break. That was the end of the game.
Well, the other guy, Josh Johnson, 13-year veteran from University of San Diego, by the way, 13 years in the pros, but he's never played it down, probably, maybe 2. Anyways, he was the 4th string. And then after that, you should have seen the moment when he got a concussed. And then they threw a Microsoft Surface or what to McCaffrey and the fullback. They were the 5th and 6th guys up. So all of a sudden they were trying to learn the playbook. I'm like, come on. Yeah. But that didn't affect the game.
No, that didn't. It was the defense. It was the defense. Like, give me a break. The defense. All right, I'm off Philly now. Thank you for that clarification. I'm back on KC. See, I could flip flop on
I think KC's defense is legit, and nobody, they're all talking about Mahomes hurts, but I think that it's the defense over the defense here, and I don't know. Plus, what do you think about Kelsey calling out all the bullshit?
I don't pay attention, Matt. Tell you the truth.
He was the linebacker or the tight end for KC who had a good game, but he was just everybody was blowing up Mahomes all week. So apparently Mahomes can't stop watching social media, so it bugs him all week and it gets all amped up. So stop bugging the guy. Stop saying bad things behind his back. Otherwise, his high school sweetheart will get mad, and everybody will get mad in KC, and you're fucked.
All right, that's what we got. Please do me a favor and go to Redbubble. Just search Rub Me Manja and get a Manja TV hat. Why wouldn't you? Please do it. Do it now, right now. And go to Amazon.com.
We did have the Torrey Pines, State Farm Open this weekend, which I don't know if you caught any of that. That was pretty decent.
No, dude. I got to tell you, the one problem with Hawaii is the fucking time zone.
You miss the world. You miss the world when you live there.
Might as well be on Mars.
You might as well be on the Marshall Islands. You have no idea what's going on.
Marshall Islands. Oh, all right. Here, Redbubble for a Manja TV hat and Amazon.com for some Shrimp Mojo, which doubles as a great smuggling medium, but that's a story for a different day and a different channel. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Lee. We will be back tomorrow for another segment of Market Vitals. Please share and retweet. I don't care if you like it. I really, really, really would appreciate a retweet. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it. Welcome home.